Oh my god, son Wukong killed Astro Bot.
You're damn straight he did.
You know, one thing I've learned since I've been covering other cultures' video games over these last few years, whether it be, you know, Japan, or China or Korean, that the way us Americans talk, in particular, the way us Americans and the way other cultures speak is totally different. Because as you know, in the UK, you know, what they call a cigarette is something very derogatory, what we use here in America. So the translations are different. And I think someone posted one of my videos on Billy, and it put Black Brother, GJX talks about the TGA Black Myth update, and doesn't matter if there is one less Kasak. Okay, so as someone walked up to me that didn't know me, that wasn't black, and it goes, hey, Black Brother, GJX, like, you know, I could take that in a negative way, but I understand that the translations and from the English to Spanish to ChatGPT is so much in between that can get the wires crossed. You know, I understand, I get it, but unfortunately most people aren't like me with the understanding of that. Now this all started, at least for me, the other day. I was watching Alanah Pearce. I watch her stream sometimes. You know, she's a former dev, and she's knowledgeable. So she was talking about the Game Awards, and she mentioned, and I was watching this live as it was happening.
And I was in the front row this year. It was my first time being in the front row. But being in the front row means that you can see all of the actually important people. So like next to me was the whole Sony team. Frankly, that's probably why they put me there, was because when they gave me that seat, I was with Sony. So behind me was Joseph Faris. Just behind him was Sam Lake, both of whom I know and am very fond of. They're both really great dudes. Black Myth Wukong team, I don't know which person on the team, was crying when Astro Bot got Game of the Year, because you could see him just looking down the line, which is the first time I've ever seen anything like that, because generally everyone is like, Game Awards doesn't matter that much. But yeah, the Wukong team were crying. It was definitely unusual. Clearly meant a lot to them. They did an amazing thing. But I did find that surprising. Like, whoa. Did it look like celebratory crying? No. They were upset. Definitely upset. Which is also fair. But it was still just surprising as well.
And I saw people in the chat like kind of like talking shit like, oh, why would you cry? For me, if someone is passionate about something and they're passionate enough where they, you know, and they didn't win and they cry, I don't think that's a laughing matter. I just think you just go, okay, I understand, but I don't think that's a laughing matter. Or I wouldn't think that was weird. But again, everyone is different. Anyway, so come to find out, a few hours ago, which just brought to my attention because people was tagging me in it, the GOAT himself, Feng made a statement on their Chinese version of Twitter, I guess so to speak, and it's a long, lengthy statement with him giving his breakdown of the Game Awards that I want to read here in English, but also please, all of my Chinese Destined ones that understand Mandarin or Chinese, please give me the correct translation of this, because I'll find the best one that I can find, but I got a feeling just from reading it in the context that some of the things may be off. I kind of read over it before I started recording. Some of the wording seemed off, but I understand, again, it's Chinese to English and it's ChatGPT translated, so I just don't want to get any words confused, because this is a very sincere post that Feng made that I want to read to all of y'all, and that can potentially give us a look, and that seemingly gives us a idea if we're going to see any more Black Myth Wukong content in the future, aka that big DLC that we was all hoping for. Please drop a like on the video, comment down below. I know a lot of us Wukong fans are upset right now. Trust me, I see it online. I haven't been engaging in any of y'all. Know I took the high road. I'm trying to be positive, and I just want everyone to go back to having fun, but unfortunately that's not the way it is right now. And hopefully this statement from Feng himself can give everyone to kind of, you know, calm down a bit. So let's check this out. Now this is a lengthy post, so I'm going to be reading this. I'll probably put some Wukong b-roll over this, so just sit back and relax, and I'm gonna try to read it as clear and precise as I can. This is over here on the website Weibo.com, and I had it translated down here. He said this: one day has passed since the Game Awards ceremony, and the wrong peak came out to say a few words in his heart, thinking that it may be useful to some friends. After all, he didn't have a chance to go on the stage and speak yesterday with the little little emoji like this. So this translated a little bit weird, but I understand trying to say that he didn't get a chance to speak and he felt like he needed to share what's on his heart, share it to the Black Myth Wukong family. Number one, this award ceremony coincided with the release of a fairly large update. For me personally, this project, which took 7 years, has officially come to an end. I gotta stop it right there. So, and this is probably what I titled the video to let you know I'm not trying to clickbait you, but from the sounds of this sounds like a goodbye letter. This sounds like they're done. And he said, which took 7 years, has officially come to an end. Now, this doesn't sound like someone that has a big DLC planned in the future if he said it basically came to an end. So I'm a little concerned about that. I mean, what about the Celestial, the fighting? Are we going to get another story DLC? Are they starting to work on a new game? Like, anyone that has some context into this, so I'm not like freaking out, because I'm like super sad when I read that and I was like, oh God. So if that is to be correct, then is Black Myth Wukong over? Just besides a few more like performance updates here and there? Let me know. But anyway, we continue. The 4 award nominations, Black Myth Wukong, Best Action Game, Best Art Direction, Best Game Direction, and Game of the Year are all first in China. In the end, I got the Best Action in Player's Voice, especially the Player's Voice, which is gratifying, which is what I said. That's the most important one. However, it must be admitted that there are losses, regrets, and more illusions that this year's shortlisted games are all excellent. But I really don't understand what the selection criteria for this year's games are. I'm here for nothing. Now, when I read that initially, I was like, well, that kind of turned up. But again, I think this is a translation thing with ChatGPT, because I feel like he's saying, I don't understand how they choose the winner. I feel like I came here for nothing. But the way this translated, it sounds like, for me in English, it sounds like he's saying, man, I came to this shit for fucking nothing. And he may mean it like that, but as an American reading this, that's how I envision it. And which is why all these media outlets like IGN and Game Rant and GameSpots, they're taking this out, goes, Black Myth Wukong director talks about being snubbed. Black Myth Wukong director snaps back, and they already have a bias against the Game Science Studio and Feng from all the bullshit that IGN put out a year or two ago. So this is them just jumping on, trying to find some shit to jump on, and completely taken out of context in my opinion. Number 2, from yesterday to now, I have also had a strong dissatisfaction from the remarks of many players, and I have seen unwillingness and unhappiness mostly expressed in humor and deconstruction. I can fully understand these unwillingness and feel these unhappiness, because I know that behind these emotions, it is not pain and malice, but self-esteem and self-confidence. So confident, but not recognized by others. A little temper, very normal. In fact, I am more confident than you. Referred to my first answer in Zihayu. The speech for the annual game stage was written 2 years ago, but it was useless, with the emojis of crying. So he wrote his speech 2 years ago. What a fucking gangster, bro. He wrote this shit down like, I know this is he. That's amazing. During the development of this game, many colleagues was not as optimistic as I was. They may have played too many intermediate versions, inevitably feeling that the game still had too many flaws. It is unlikely to go online on time. One of my main jobs in this company is to constantly reassure them that we have done a good job and the product has been improving. Yes, you can't be confident only when you've already won. That's not confidence. It's rereading the results. If you lose today, you may lose tomorrow, but so what? The factors that affect the results are too complex, so the results are necessarily uncertain. The only thing we can be sure of is choosing what we're doing. Do specific things, do difficult things, do what you believe, and doing this, of course, you should be confident. Some people say that a team that has never done a standalone game and achieved such results in the first standalone game is a small probability of an accident, and it is difficult to copy in the future. I would like to say that this is not an accident. It is the inevitable result of a collision between Chinese culture, Chinese talents, Chinese business development, and China's game industry, and the vast numbers of players all over the world. That is a fact. Journey of the West is one of the biggest books in Chinese history. It's one of the most impressed upon stories, which is how we got Dragon Ball Z and Goku. It all came from there. So you mix that with a fire ass game, with the population of China, with the hype and the business, just like he said. It was definitely not an accident. It was Destined 1. See what I did there? If we have not seen this necessity early, we would not have made this choice so firmly. It is not a bet, it's a ride. Game Science has the honor to participate and witness the beginning of this trend. I believe that there will be more colleagues in the future to bring better, more interesting, and more confident Chinese stories to the world. Number 4. There's a saying that almost everyone knows, but many people that don't know words from Journey to the West. There's nothing in the world that is difficult for those who set their minds on it. In my understanding, this sentence does not mean that any difficulty can be conquered as long as you like, but with the mentality of facing up to difficulties, then difficulties and failures are not so terrible. They will not easily bring you down, and life can calmly deal with unavoidable difficulties, which also lead a more practical life because it's hard and it's fun. 5. Why is it called game science? When we decide to use mathematics, physics, and the basic science and engineering derived from it, analyze and solve specific problems, do not engage in metaphysics, do not engage in deification, does not engage in deification, and do not take the results as the cause, we can truly look at this complex world and see those who are far ahead. Where is the opponent? If someone doesn't ask specific questions, doesn't talk about arguments and logic, but asserts that something is very difficult and deep, you should probably test him for partial differentials. Science is not truth, and science seeks truth from facts. Pretty cool how they got that name. Number 6. In fact, being able to play games is already a very lucky group of people. There are so many people in this world who have no chance to play this so-called AAA game at all. Many people who feel at a loss, pain, and even despair about the current situation, and many people who are suffering from injustice. I think the more this is the case, the more we have to create better games, create content that makes more people feel true, good, and beautiful, which is what I love to do. I've always believed that the greatest value of a game is to make the distribution of happiness in this world more fair. The road is long, the wind is still evil, and the Lich King is arrogant, but we have been getting stronger. Finally, and this is the part I want everyone to really hear, which is what I said at the end of my video the other day, talking about all the toxic Wukong fans I've been seeing. Finally, I hope that the story of Black Myth Wukong can give some people who are still confused a little courage, so that many more people who are still grouping in the dark can see a little light and then move on with a normal heart. I hope everyone can continue to be brave, honest, and kind with self-confidence and ambition. Do every specific little thing well, accept uncertain results calmly, and walk on the road of learning until the last moment of life. As Hemingway said, the world is a beautiful place and we're fighting. Feng, the GOAT himself. So what he said is, listen, everyone calm down. Yes, we took the L. Yes, he thinks it's bullshit, as a lot of us do, as I do, but we push on. That's what we got to do. And so many of y'all that grew up on this book here, and you know it front to back, that you know these lessons and these teachings. I feel like I'm a talk about church. You know these lessons and these teachings more than I ever will. You know, I just fell into this from playing the video game. You know, so just use that to take solace and everything that Feng just said. Just say, hey man, we got to move on and we got to keep fighting. You know, the whole spiel. So yeah, but I'm just sad now, bro, because it sounds like this is the end of Wukong. I mean, I don't have another 7 years on YouTube, bro. So the next game science game, bro, I don't think I'm sure I'll still be alive, knock on wood, but I don't think I'll still be doing YouTube. At least that's not the plan right now. You know, I think I got maybe 2-3 years left and I'm done, bro. So yeah, I don't know. Yeah, normally I have like some cool like hip stuff to say on the way out, but man, I'm just I don't know, I'm a little sad. That's all I can say. I'm sad. Anyway, well, I'm going to make a Wukong video later in the week of me playing the new challenge mode, fighting Tiger Vanguard and the Great Sage, you know, on the highest difficulties. I think I'm going to play Fist, and I'm going to make my game of the year, my top 10 game of the year video. And my last video is about Wukong and Liza P. And that's all I can say about that for now. But I only have about 4 more videos left for this year. Then I'm done. I'm on Christmas break, bro. And I'm going to take me a break, get refreshed, because I'm a little burnt out. I can't lie. And all this discourse around like the game of the year for a night that was so beautiful for me as a creator, with all the Wukong members and other gamers that found me from like Fallout and Cyberpunk, everyone that found me this year coming together at that Game Awards. Was the biggest stream I ever had, almost at 20,000 views right now. It was a great night, and for that to be sour with all the Black Myth Wukong and Astro Bot bullshit, and people mad at The Witcher because she's a girl, people mad at the Naughty Dog game because it's a bald black girl with muscles. Everyone's just so negative. I had to delete Twitter, bro. It's just so negative, and that is not why I do this. I do this to make y'all laugh, to make y'all cry, to make y'all happy. I'm not here for this shit, you know. I'm not here for all this drama, you know. I don't need it. My life is already stressful enough, and I just want to make people happy. I want y'all to be happy, and us to just enjoy these video games, bro. So anyway, I'm sorry to be a little damper today, but as you say, the world is a beautiful place and it's worth fighting. Catch y'all.